So everyone's talking about Iran, Israel, and the USA again. Bombings, threats, and nuclear sites. Feels like the world history class turned real overnight. But where did it all start? And let's talk about what happened. Let's walk through it. No politics, just facts. Let's do a quick history recap. Keeping it real, keeping it neutral. In 1948, Israel became a country. Many Jewish people saw it as a safe homeland after World War II, but that also led to a huge displacement of many Palestinians, which created long-lasting tensions in the region, which is still ongoing to this day. Iran, which is a mostly Shia Muslim country, has supported Palestinian rights and does not recognize Israel as a state. This is a core issue that is behind why Iran and Israel are currently in conflict. Until the 1979 Iranian Revolution, Iran actually had relations with Israel and the US. But after the revolution, Iran had become an Islamic republic, cut ties with both, and relations have been tense ever since. So what does that mean for what's going on right now? Tensions rose sharply after strikes in early June killed several high-ranking Iranian officials. This was done by Israel. This included key generals and nuclear scientists in Iran. Iran blamed Israel and vowed to respond. The U.S. remained publicly supportive of Israel's rights to defend itself and urged restraint. In the following days, missiles were exchanged between Iran and Israel, and this raised huge global concern. Last night, June 21st into the 22nd, the U.S. launched airstrikes on 3 major Iranian nuclear facilities. These sites were underground and heavily protected, but the U.S. used long-range bombers, also known as bunker busters, and missiles to target them. According to official U.S. statements, the operation aimed to prevent potential nuclear weapons development. Iran has always stated that its nuclear program is for its peaceful energy purposes. It was the first military strike by the U.S. on Iranian soil in this conflict and a major turning point. So how's everyone reacting to this? What have been the public statements? And we've got some Twitter fingers going on. So first we've got the U.S. President Trump called the operation a huge success, saying that the facilities were completely and totally obliterated, and added that now is the time for peace. He threw in on Twitter some big American flags. He said that this was the greatest, collaboration and all collaborations with Israel. However, this led to some U.S. lawmakers. Some supported the strike as a defensive move. Others from both parties questioned whether the president should have gotten approval from Congress first. Then we've got, how did Iran respond? Iran's foreign minister called the strikes a violation of international law and said Iran reserves all options in its response. Iran's parliament voted to consider closing the Strait of Hormuz, a key waterway for global oil trade. Overnight, Iran launched missile attacks toward Israel in response. So this has continued. They had almost 24 hours without any missile strikes, and they resumed last night after the U.S. did their strikes. Finally, we've got Israel. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanked the U.S. for its support and said that this was a huge turning point and that peace must come through strength. Israeli officials emphasized their right to self-defense and praised the cooperation between their allies. We've continued to have other statements and shows of, concern and support around the globe. The United Nations urged all parties to show restraint, warning that continued conflict could lead to regional instability. Leaders from countries like the UK, Turkey, China, and Russia called for peace talks and de-escalation. On social media, people around the world reacted with everything from concerns to hashtags like hashtag pray for peace, hashtag Middle East, and hashtag not our war trending globally. So what are the takeaways from this, and why does it matter? So this conflict is more than just about 3 countries. It's tied to decades of history, religion, land, and politics. People on all sides have deep fears, beliefs, and traumas. That's why solutions are so hard and why every move matters. So what's the most important thing we can do? Stay informed, stay compassionate, and stay open to truth over noise.